What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great weekend. We are here with our Superman 2025 movie review. Movie came out this past Friday. Early showings on Thursdays, that kind of thing. So let's. I guess the best way to just go about this is to just jump right into it. And so this movie has been just a total, like, a chaotic. It's been a total chaotic entity since early reviews and stuff like that came out, like on Thursday or whenever the embargo lifted for people to talk about it and things like that. Because you have people who you either like the movie or you hate the movie. If you hate the movie, you're called a grifter or a grifter hater or whatever. If you like the movie, you're called a shield. A shield. Now, I went and watched it the other night, last night. The movie is, I could see where both sides are getting, like, I can see where both sides are coming from. If you like the movie, I see why you like it. If you didn't like it, I can see why you didn't like it. The movie for me was just not. It was a good movie, but it was not a great movie. There is a lot of issues in this movie, and I listened to a few people and heard what they thought about the movie, and I kind of went in that in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, obviously I'm gonna go and watch this and judge it for myself. And yeah, this movie has a lot going on. And before I get into the movie, the way DC handled these dropping these minute long clips or 2 minute long clips, just sporadically dropping them with really no context or anything like that, it's just it threw people off, and people were getting mixed messages about this movie. And I think that's an issue that you don't need to do. You don't, because, like, even before the movie came out, like even 3 weeks before the movie comes out, it was like two or three different 2 minute long segments of the movie that gets James Gunn post on Twitter, or it just gets posted somewhere. And I don't think you really need to do that. It was just really unnecessary because you already had um, the first, like, 5 minutes of the movie already showed to you. When he lands in the Arctic and gets taken to the Fortress of Solitude by Crypto. And then obviously you have the segment with Lois and Clark doing the impromptu um, interview. I think there's another one. The when Superman barges into Lex's office after he takes Crypto and everything. Um, and then just a few segments here and there in regards to it, but for the most part, this movie was just it was a good movie. I think there is a lot of issues. I thought the cast was good. I thought the cast was good, but what they were working with wasn't that great. Like this, I think there's just I don't even want to say there's a plot. It's just, if there is a plot, it's the simple plot of Lex wants to kill Superman, but there's this whole rigmarole to go around him doing it. Like, I would have rathered Lex operate in the background in trying to kill Superman. Like, maybe get some, like, creating Metallo, or like if Livewire was a thing, or Parasite, something like that. Like him, and he's in the background, kind of controlling things and stuff like that. But obviously here he's in the forefront, It's known that it's not known, but like he wants to kill Superman. Obvious Lex Luthor motivation. But the cast is fine. Lois Lane, fine. Uh, Mr. Terrific, I think, was probably the highlight of the movie. I thought that was a very fun character to definitely check out and see. Um, Guy Gardner, fine. Hawk Girl. The actress, what is it? Isabel Merced is her name, I think. She has been on a roll with a lot of stuff. Obviously, she has this. Last of Us season 2. Um, I feel like there's something else she recently did. I think she's Madam Web. I think she was in Madam Web as well. So she's been. She was also Dora the Explorer, that live action Dora the Explorer that we got a couple years ago. So she's been on a roll with some films lately. But um, Jimmy Olsen, okay. Nicholas Holt as Lex Luthor, I thought was a good Lex Luthor, but I feel like some of the stuff, again, a lot of it's like the writing and what they're trying to go with. I feel like it didn't really land as well. And another thing that I didn't like was whenever there is a moment, like a good moment that's happening where there's dialogue or a scene or something like that, you they have this tendency of ruining it with like a joke. Like you had the end of the movie where Superman just gave his big monologue about how he's human. Then Lex is about to come back with something, and then Crypto grabs him, starts slamming him around and stuff like that. It's just kind of like you that wasn't really necessary. You didn't need that. And then there was the scene where Lois and Clark are talking, and you have a giant space eyeball or whatever in the background going on, and the Justice Gang fighting it. You probably didn't need that scene either, and so there were so many moments in this movie where I was just kind of like, you really didn't need to do this, and it didn't feel like a Superman movie. It felt like a Saturday cartoon episode of Super Friends, to be quite honest. And it's that's the thing. That's James Gunn. I think he said it years ago how he doesn't know how to write Superman or something along those lines. It may be taken out of context, but he this felt too much of like a Guardians of the Galaxy or the Suicide Squad. Didn't really feel like a Superman movie, and I didn't really like it because when I want to see Superman, the sole focus should be Superman. It just feels like there is too much going on. You had like Luthor, you had the Engineer, you had Ultraman who turns you had Guy Gardner, you had the Justice Gang, you had a giant kaiju and Metamorpho. His it's just so much going on in this movie that it just felt very convoluted, and it was I don't know, it was just a weird thing. Another thing I didn't like was I hated the camera action that they were doing, where the camera would be like just there were moments where I'm fine with it, like the one where Lex is mad that Superman escaped from the pocket dimension. That's fine, but there was several shots where let's take Hawk Girl for instance, towards the end of the movie where she's chasing after the leader of the country. I forgot the name of it, Bravo, whatever you want to call it. I guess whatever you want to call it. Um, um, it's like she's chasing him through like the palace or through the building, and like the camera's like all so close up on her face for her screaming and stuff like that, and it's just kind of like it's not really necessary to have that. And it's not just that. There's other moments like that too, where the camera is just too close up, or the camera is just moving around too much. The scene with Mr. Terrific and Lois, where he's protecting her inside like a little shield while he's fighting everybody else on the outside. I thought that was fine. It was okay. Um, he he has a pocket dimension with monkeys running social media accounts to talk trash about Superman. Like, come on. What what are we doing? It's just so stupid. I was just kind of like, come on. Um, what else was it about the movie? Ma and Pa Kent. I don't. If they're in Kansas, why do they have an accent that sounds like they're in the deep south of Alabama or Georgia or something like that? Like that. I was like, what are we? What like? Why do you have? Why do they have these accents? These country hillbilly accents? It's like what? Kansas is not in the South. Like they shouldn't have that kind of accent. It's just like whatever, whatever. Um, what else was it? I think the music was fine. Music was fine. Um, I there's always there's always moments in Superman films that that's just kind of like that's a Superman moment, you know, like whether it's Superman Returns when he's the whole airplane scene or Man of Steel. What did they have? I'm trying to remember like at Man of Steel what they had that was a moment, but there was a moment. There's two moments that I liked. For there was one where towards the end of the movie where you saw like a little tidbit of it, like a short little thing of it, but like it's where the building is falling onto the bridge and there's a woman, her car won't start. Superman comes in and he holds up the building long enough for her to drive off, and as it just kind of crashes and collapses the bridge, and she turns around and sees you have the Superman theme playing, and you just see him standing there amidst the dust and the debris and everything, like a silhouette of him. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. I thought I liked that. I liked the kids doing like the raising the flag of Iwo Jima style, and calling out for Superman. I thought that was a good scene. So there were some really good scenes that I thought worked well in the movie. It's just a lot of times they were just undercut by some stupid joke that wasn't even funny. Like I had like one person laugh at most of this, not most, but maybe like one or two of the jokes in the movie. So I don't know. It's just um David Cornswell, I thought he was a pretty good Superman. I liked what he brought. I thought he was a good Superman. Really have no issues there with him. Um, the ending with Crypto was annoying. Um, obviously, Crypto is the equivalent of Baby Yoda. It's supposed to be It's supposed to be a cute thing for the kids and stuff like that. So whatever, but it was a lot. There's a lot of them. During what I was thinking, there was I had it. I had it just before I said Crypto. I had it just before I said Crypto. Oh, Supergirl shows up at the end drunk because she goes to planets with red suns. So because they they can't drink, they can't get drunk or anything like that on Earth because of the yellow sun. So she goes partying across the galaxy where there's red sun, so she can get drunk and all that stuff. And it was just I was like, and this is how you introduce this character? Like, what? It's such a weird choice to introduce her like that. And it's just like I thought the suit looked good for what you saw, but obviously I think that's the next movie project that's coming out is Supergirl. At least I think it's either that or Clayface. It's one of the two. But I don't know, man. It's there's stuff that there is definitely stuff that they can build on. I think you can build on this David Cornsworth Superman character. I think there's a lot of stuff that you can work on, but I need to see maybe somebody other than James Gunn behind it. I can understand why he wanted to do it because this was the first installment of this new DC universe, whatever. I can see why he wanted to be hands-on with it to make sure this gets off the ground and running. But I think the constant trolling and stuff like that, maybe not trolling is not the right word, but just there's a lot of stuff that they did that they definitely can fix and improve on for a sequel. So I don't know. We will see, but that is relatively it. That is my review for Superman. Tell me what you guys think. Be sure you follow, hit that like, subscribe, all the whole 9 yards for more content. But thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.